Searching high and searching low, searching everywhere you go.
Hi, I'm Councilwoman Janna Zurita, representing District 1 of the great city of Compton. Welcome today to Compton's Best Kept Secrets. Today, I have two of my favorite ladies here on the show today. My beautiful mother, Dolores Zurita, former councilwoman of District 1 in the city of Compton, and the Honorable Satra Zurita, Vice President of the Compton Unified School Board. Welcome to Compton's Best Kept Secrets.
Thank you.
So, it's an honor to have you here today.
And it's an honor to be here today.
And first I'm gonna let Satra give just a little bit of history. Well, first, Satra, besides being my sister, you're on the Compton Unified School Board, and how long have you served?
I'm in my 9th year, my third term on the Compton Unified School District Governing Board, and I chair a couple of committees, and the work is rewarding. Contrary to what people think, we make a lot of money. We do not. The reward is in the social change that I get to be a part of here in Compton. And people hear me say sometimes, you know, my daughter, it's selfish. I do it for selfish reasons too, because you always hear people say, I married the boy next door or the boy down the street, and I want to make sure that every kid in this community gets a great education and a great opportunity, because my daughter may marry one of them someday.
That's a cute little story. Mm-hmm. And for the folks that don't remember, when you were on the council, Ma, you used to have a show called Compton's Best Kept Secrets. And this is actually a takeoff from your show.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a good show, it's a good concept. And the reason I started the show, I can recall once I went to the 3-park golf course. And I've been in Compton, you know, now for 60-some years. And at the time, I didn't even know we had that there. And I was just so overwhelmed with the beauty. And so I just felt that there were a lot of other places that people didn't know about.
Yeah, what were some of the other places you went on your show that you...
Well, a lot of people don't know that Shaq, the basketball player, he had a T-shirt factory here in Compton when he first became, a Laker. Mm-hmm. And we went there, Frank and I, and we just had a great time. I was so impressed with him. He was just like any other little boy running through the place, screaming and hollering and carrying on. And that's one of my great memories. We went where new stores, we went to Ashley Stewart when it first opened, Frank and I modeled clothes and ended up spending $100 over there.
And Satra can, I think, was the show originally your idea?
Yeah, it was my idea. Mom was doing such a great job, and Compton was kind of in a renaissance. You know, we got the Starbucks and some other great developments Mama can tell you about. And so folks, we wanted to make sure that folks knew that great things were happening in Compton. Great things were happening in the hub city, and we wanted to make sure people knew. And it's funny, the other day, I work for, my day job is in the Building and Safety Department for the city of Compton, and I happened to meet a lady the other day who said, you know, your mama used to have a TV show, and I had a craft store. And she came and she did Compton's Best Kept Secrets in my craft store. And I laughed and I said, oh, well, Janna's doing a spinoff from Mama's Best Kept Secrets, Compton's Best Kept Secrets. Being born and raised here, we want people to know the great things that come out of the city of Compton and the great things that are happening here in the city of Compton.
And the citizens helped me do it because I asked the citizens to send me in places that I should showcase. Because, you know, I didn't know about everything that was in Compton, but many people sent me information on places that were different in Compton. and were worthy to be highlighted.
Such as, where were some of the places?
Okay, now, you know, that's been about 15 years ago.
Was it the YAL? Did you guys do the YAL?
Yeah, we did go to the YAL. And where else did we go?
Lots and lots. I'm sure Frank can find you some snippets.
The library, and we went a lot of places. You know, I guess we went about 12 or 15 places.
Oh, okay, well, good. And one of your pet projects when you were a councilwoman was Gonzalez Park, the swimming pool.
Oh yeah, I can remember one day it was when the streets had been paved, and we had set up a little tent, and we were celebrating the streets being paved again on Rosecrans, right in front of Gonzalez Park. And I looked over there and I said, I want to see an Olympic-sized pool over here, because we may have some Olympians, but we didn't have any place large enough to train them. And when I just planted the seed, and my colleagues, you know, you need 3 votes.
That's right. You better know that.
I say 2 + 1 = 3. But if you could get 4, you know, that's even better. And they all voted for it.
Well, that's great. And the pool is still beautiful. And actually, this year, we're going to have an early opening for the pool. We're hoping for sometime in April that we're going to open the pool and make sure that everything is running smoothly over there.
And Mama didn't just decide she wanted to have the pool there. She had some impetus to bring in the pool there. When I managed the hotel, you remember the kids would come from the other side of town with their towels and swim in the hotel pool. And for liability's sake, we couldn't allow them to do that. You remember talking about that?
Yeah, I do. I remember that. But then it was the Olympics was going on at the time, you know, when I saw that. And I always remember we didn't have a place to train any kids from Compton for the Olympics in swimming.
Yeah, and you know what one of the visions that I have, one of the goals, I have more goals, and I try to achieve my goals as I go. And one of the goals that I have is to have a year-round swimming aquatics program. And what I really would like to do is, unfortunately, none of the high schools here have a swimming pool, and I think we should satellite that swimming pool with the high schools to actually have some swim programs and swim lessons and let kids have swim class.
Well, that's a great idea. And I remember I took swimming lessons at Compton High. When I attended Compton High, there was a swimming pool there. And it was a lot of students that took swimming at Compton High. And that's a great idea that you just came up with. And you know what? When I go over to the swimming pool at Gonzalez and I look at the kids swimming, well, I get such a great feeling. You know, I really do. That's some of my proudest moments is over by the swimming pool at Gonzalez Park.
Well, it's beautiful, and we just have to keep it up.
And that's a great idea. And the city manager, the president of the college, and the superintendent meet regularly, and we realize kids should have an opportunity to swim here in Compton, and they have a swimming pool at the college. So we're in talks about them repairing the pool and allowing us. So it would be even greater to have 3 opportunities where kids can learn to swim and learn to compete.
Yeah, because the swimming pool at the college, I don't think it'll be ready until 5 or 6 years. And our pool here is ready now, so we should just focus on what's ready.
Okay.
And take advantage of that, because there are so many grants and scholarships for swim, but we just don't take advantage of it. But anyway, you're my guest today, so tell me a little bit about you.
So thinking about the golf course, you know, I remember we had a memo in council saying that there was a gentleman who wanted to do volunteering, organizing golf at the golf course. His name was Mike.
Mike Robbins.
So when the memo came through, I just knew that my colleagues, the strong men there was going to grab that, you know, and run with it, but nobody was interested. And when I'm saying this, I'm remembering another proud moment. I went down to the golf course, and my friend Willie, he's the manager down there. And you remember, Satra, I started the golf, little golf
champions for kids.
Right. And what made me remember it just now was talking about the children and the scholarships. You just mentioned that. And you know that there's a lot of scholarships available for kids in golf.
Right.
And I'm told that several of those little girls that started golf lessons when I was there received a scholarship.
Tuskegee.
Yeah, so I'm proud of that too.
And that's going to be one of my tours on Compton's Best Kept Secrets, because the golf course is still active and we have a youth program there now.
That's right. And you know, when I look at that and when I read about it, you know, I think about how I laid the foundation for that. You know, how I laid the...
Well, you know, not to boast, but a lot of the programs that we have here, events that we have here in the city of Compton, originated when you were on the council, and everything, you know, you're a trailblazer. You know, you set the platform, you set the stage.
After school programs are a big thing now, and she was a pioneer in the after school programs. So we had the first after school programs here in California, right here in Compton, in Dickinson Community Lighted Schools. You want to talk about that?
Yes, at that time it was no latchkey kids. All the kids stayed at the school. They got out at 3 o'clock and they remained there until 8 o'clock. Parents were able to pick them up at 8 o'clock instead of them going home and being alone. And there were all kind of organized activities, organized, supervised activities for children. I remember I had a whole lot of football friends, and they used to come and do clinics in football for students there at Dickinson Elementary School.
And it made a difference because there was a great sense of community back then. You know, the guys who were considered bad at the time, they were just like brothers to us. You know, we grew up with everybody, and they protected us. They looked out for us.
And I can remember at that time we had a program where we could hire a lot of youth in the summer, and we gave them a little job. Some of the so-called bad little boys, and they were doing security around the school. And I remember some days they didn't have to come, and we said, "You can go home today. You don't have to stay." And they said, "Oh no, I'm staying here. I'm gonna protect my job. If I go home, Mama said I don't have a job." You know, so and really, and just lately, I've been getting so many messages on Facebook from some of those guys thanking me for being there for them, you know, a long time, and it's really a great feeling.
Yeah, and then after that, you served seniors.
Yes, yes, yes. We, when there was no longer any funding for after-school programs in the school, and me and those ladies, we started a program after school, and our funding was $20,000. We received that from the Compton Unified School District. And we worked, you know, 7 days a week and 4 hours a day, and I guess it was just like volunteering, because the $20,000 only purchased, you know, the little arts and crafts supplies and other little things that we did. It was Blondell Filer and the late Phyllis Rousseau. We were a threesome, and we did a great job.
Yeah, and with the Meals on Wheels, you did that for how many years?
42.
42 years. I can remember, I was remembering this morning when someone said, "Dolores, you're going to have to be the director of the food program." I said, "I don't know anything about food." You know, I was afraid. I didn't want to do it. And they kept pushing me, and then I attended every class or anything that was offered throughout the United States, you know, on nutrition and food services, and I did a great job.
How many meals did Dickinson Meals on Wheels serve?
Probably 3 or 4 million meals, and for 42 years. And supervise 20 staff members and 40 volunteers, you know, every day.
And I have to say something, because Mama, when she retired, she was still making $29,000 a year. And that's ludicrous. And she often said, well, how could I get a raise and put an 80-year-old man who has cancer on a waiting list? And he desperately needs that meal. So she was certainly a public servant.
Yeah, definitely that's what happened to us. That's why we such public servants now. But you know, and then to move on, because we can't talk about your whole life. We don't have enough time. But then when you moved on to the city council, you went to D.C. several times. You ever been to the White House?
Oh yes, you know, lots of times. And I put a picture on Facebook the other day of me and Miss Arsenault and Fred Kressel. And a young man used to work here, Satra.
Tabor, Reggie Tabor.
We were with
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. And that was 10 years ago. You know, we were always in Washington. You went to Washington.
Wait, it was longer than that.
Oh.
Because you've been off the council 8 years, and I've been on 2 years,
so
2.5 years.
probably 15
about
years.
15 years ago.
But you remember, you went to Washington with me.
Me and Faye Kressel toured D.C. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've been to the White House. I've seen been on a tour of the White House, but when you went to the White House, one of those times you brought back a big check. Remember?
Oh yes, yes I did. It was like almost $500,000 to do a study on a well-balanced meal for a person, not just 5 days a week, but 7 days a week.
For the elderly. For
the elderly. And what we did was we partnered with King Hospital and a lot of other doctors and a lot of organizations. And what they did was they went to the homes and serviced the seniors, because I remember when I was a little girl, the doctors always came to the house. And when the doctors come to the house, the patient is more relaxed and is able to talk about all the little problems that they have, which are many, you know. And we did this study for 6 months, and it was supposed to be, it was a national study, and it was going to be used. But at the time, that war broke out over there, and it was no more money, you know, available.
Right, for the study. But the study was ultimately used by HMOs, so they knew how to work with the elderly. And what they found in that study was almost 90% of the seniors in Compton were dehydrated.
That's right.
And a lot of folks who thought their parents had dementia didn't necessarily have dementia, but they were going to several different doctors, and their medications were contraindicating each other. So it was a great study, and some great information came out of it, and a lot of change.
I remember the first thing we did was give each one of our clients a bottle of water, with each of the meals that we took them. Because as a result of the study, they were dehydrated.
Yeah, because you did the homebound, and then you actually did like a daycare center at 600.
Right.
Yeah, with the study.
And actually, the study, yeah, because that's what it was going to be, a daycare center there. We weren't going to administer any medicine. We were just going to provide respite for family. You know, we were going to provide lunch, and then we were going to provide arts and crafts, so their loved ones would be able to go away and rest for a couple of hours.
So adult daycare.
Adult daycare.
And you have a secret? You have a best kept secret you want to share with us today?
My best kept? Oh, my best. I got a lot of secrets, but my secrets are not secrets anymore, because my best things are my two wonderful daughters I'm sitting with here, and my two wonderful little granddaughters. You know, I said before somebody asked me, talk about the grandkids, I said I can never love my grandkids any more than I love my daughters. But I can love them just as much, because they are just an extension you know, of my two daughters. And I was married 8 years before I had Satra, told by doctors I would never have any children, and just look, you know, what's here.
How long you been married?
That's what I was going to say. Tell that story.
Oh, I've been married 60 years.
62, I think.
No.
Close to now?
It's 60.
Oh, okay, 60.
Don't give me any more than 60. I've been married 60 years. To Clarence, you know, my first boyfriend. I was 17, you know, at the time when I married him. Mm-hmm. And it's been fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you brought something with you today.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I retired from Dickinson in 2012. And how I retired was we had been submitting these grants to the LA County for 40 years. And this last time, when I was young, I used to do it all by myself, and I would get the proposals there a day early. And when I would work on the proposals, I would bring them home every night because we were over here at 600 North Alameda, and I said, I'm taking this off. Somebody break in here tonight and throw this stuff all around, you know, I'll have to start all over. But anyway, what the young lady who always helped me, she took the proposal down and sat the road with her so she could ride in the Diamond Lane. Mm-hmm. The traffic was real heavy, and she was 3 minutes late. So the county wouldn't take the proposal. So me and Satra and Janna, we fought and fought and fought. We went down to the county, and the thing that we begged for is that the county would allow the staff that was there to continue to work to take our seniors their meals.
Excluding me and
Won't be there anymore. We continued to work just as hard as we always did, and during that last 2 or 3 months, I started getting all these recognition. You know, I got lots of recognition, and the first one, I guess, was from Isidore Hall, the Assemblyman. He gave me the honor of being Woman of the Year. I flew to Sacramento early in the morning by myself, you know, to get this award. And, you know, at the time it was hard. It was a task getting up, going to Sacramento early in the morning to get an award. But now, you know, it's one that I really do cherish. And then my second one was Delta Sigma Theta sorority. They made me Woman of the Year in 2012. These I have hanging on my wall at home. I've gotten many plaques and honors through the years, which I love. I love them.
Roderick Wright, Senator
Roderick
Wright.
I was one of his women. And then here's a picture here I have of Shaq when he was in Compton. He had a T-shirt factory.
Twism.
Twism.
That's what it was.
Twism.
And Frank DeRozan and I was there, and I always remember him, like I said, because he was just a wonderful young man.
And then what's your favorite one? Did you bring your Mother Teresa?
Oh yeah, where is it? Mm-hmm. And this is my Mother Teresa Award I got from the city of Compton in 2012. Mm-hmm. This was down at the Queen Mary. Oh, it was a nice event. Kiara was with me. Neither one of you guys was available. You were out of town, I believe.
I had to work.
Me too. We work.
I haven't been out of town in a long time, so I know I wasn't out of town.
Hey, I could depend on you to correct me if I was wrong, because that's one thing you always did. Hey, mothers out there, you remember when you used to say something and you would look at your little girl and say, and they make a lie out of you? You know?
Yeah, because I have one that's doing it now real well. But, you know, I was very honored to be here today, and just honored to have you here as my guest.
Well, I'm honored to be here, and I had the honor of meeting
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks.
She was passing the torch of service.
And that was one of my special moments. And another special moment I have is when we brought the sheriff here. You know, I was the first vote, and I went to the retirement party for Sheriff Baca, and I remembered how wonderful it was. They came in, and Sheriff Baca embraced the city of Compton. And whenever we did have any problems, he was always there. And I'm just wondering and hoping, who's going to be there for us now?
You know, Mama did some great things, and I'm just happy to be a part of her legacy. And I always say, if I can do half of what she's done, I've been a great public servant.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was easy for me, you know. It was easy for me, and I don't even know, you know, where all the time went. Because remember, I had the first Easter extravaganza. I fed the kids. Every kid got a teddy bear.
Women in Hats.
I had a program called Women in Hats, the different hats that women wear.
The jazz club.
And yeah,
Indigo Jazz.
Indigo Jazz.
Indigo Jazz.
We had that every Thursday night. People want that, you know, they ask for that all the time. Now, and Janna, maybe you can get some sponsors.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, the thing about you where you had nice events where you didn't spend a lot of money.
Right.
You know, we turned the venue into a courtyard, a club.
And the
or,
little children came, you know, too.
It
And
was a family
whatever I
event.
did was for families. And we had nonprofits. What was it, that group that sold the drinks? We had some drinks, you know.
It was the Chamber. The Chamber of Commerce sold drinks. Remember Mr. Brown, the bartender?
But then there was another group.
I'm
A
not
group
sure.
that did it too, like the Omar Bradley's group, you know.
Oh, I don't know. And you know, Mama come from the era of humanitarianism, and that was the beginning of humanitarianism. And you have spin off from that with your breast cancer initiative. This month you'll have an autism initiative. Mama had the largest bone marrow drive here in the city of Compton many, many years ago, and it was phenomenal, and folks were really surprised.
Yeah, because actually, I just ran across a picture. I think it was 1997 when she had the bone marrow drive.
I'm not sure. I know it was a long time ago.
Okay, and don't forget, I was the first PTA president of Dickerson Elementary School. I was the charter president, and that was the beginning of my community work.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming, and you look lovely as always. And Satra, you look pretty good yourself there.
Thank you. Yeah, you looking good too.
Why, thank you. Well, it was a pleasure, and stay tuned for the next episode of Compton's Best Kept Secrets. Thank you.
Searching high, searching low, searching everywhere you go. I'm gonna end this hunt of yours by taking you on a Compton tour. I'm gonna tell you about Compton's best kept secrets. Yeah, yeah. Compton's best kept secrets.